Oh, where's the intro button? I forgot where that button was. There it is. Bye-bye. What up?
Well, hello.
So,
we're,
yeah,
we're so big in the screen.
I know. It's a little bit weird. I don't know how to make it smaller. Oh, that made it
Whoa.
really big. Oh, I forgot to
Yeah.
do this little part. I got to figure this out. So it quit. We'll quit changing everything. Nope, that's making you
Oh, that's
huge.
no. No one wants to see that. There we go.
That's the
No,
one we
go
like
back.
right there.
No, that's okay. The circle's pretty cool too.
You like the circle?
Yeah, yeah. Nice and
But then it
small.
loses
People
my
don't even
whole
see me.
logo. I don't know if I like it.
Okay, well, now it
At
looks
least
like
with that, you have the majority of the quantum.
quantum
Hello,
quantum.
whoever's online. I don't know who you are because it doesn't show me. So you got to say something in the comments for me to know who you are. All I know is they're on my Facebook channel, so that's all I can see.
Very cool.
So how was your daughter's last cheer competition from last time when you were out when we had our guest person on?
It was sad. Sad.
Sad.
She's done. My middle's growing up and ready for college, and it was her last. We've done this for 6 years in a row with her older sister. It's done. End of an era.
Oh man, you still got one more though, right?
Yeah, she's just 9, so we got a while. So actually, she just started
Oh, so
lacrosse,
you
which
got the
I
same
know
amount of time I do
nothing
then.
about. Yes, zero, zero time to do anything, and forever until we're empty nesters.
God, I hope we can be empty nesters. My brother and sister, well, my sister, yeah, they still live with my mom. So, and they're, yeah, I hope I can become an empty nester sometime in my life.
Man,
Was an
it'd be
empty nester
nice.
for a few months. My wife is now saying, "No, shut up."
You guys are gonna have more.
No, can't happen. Won't happen. Can't happen. No more kids. No
We're
more.
good. I'm too old. I'm already going to be the old dad for my 9-year-old when we go to high school graduations and that.
That was the one thing I said I didn't want to do was be the old parent trying to
We're
play
the young ones.
basketball, stuff like
Yeah, we're
that.
the young ones now with the two older. But now, I went to her lacrosse thing and I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm geriatric.
I mean, I'll be 36 when my youngest graduates high school. 46. Sorry, 46.
I was like, good Lord.
46.
Yeah, so I'm 46 now, 46 or 47. So basically the same as where you'll be, except I still have one more.
Just 10 more years.
Like I said, I'll be grandpa out there. Come on, honey, let's go.
You'll still be kicking it though.
God, I hope.
All right, guys. So we're kind of just hanging out tonight and BSing because we both are in the process of setting up, getting tanks built right now to get delivered to us to set up. We're going to jump back into the guidebooks once we get the tanks here. We're going with the friend of his that actually builds acrylic tanks. He's going to be building me 2 to go into these 2 locations right behind me so I can get rid of this virtual background screen and we'll actually go through the guidebooks at that time and do setup processes while we're setting up my tank right here. It's going to be a 55-gallon acrylic tank. We're going to put a sump on it. It will have two Delua X4 lights on it with their lighting bar and their program, which we'll go through all of that as we go through everything. It's going to have an Octo 110 protein skimmer. Haven't determined the return pump yet, but I don't know if I'm going to go with the Octo 6 from Coral View or if I'm going to go with the Sichet or CC pump from Sichet or CC, however you say that name. Sichet, there we go. All I know is I call it Jason or Melissa. I'll just call one of them two and say, hey, what are we getting? Let's get this figured out. What do I need for a 55-gallon tank that's a whole total of from ground to bottom of the tank, 30 inches off the ground? Because it's going to be in the seating position behind me. Perfect. So I'm not like you where the tank is 32 inches tall, mister. What do you get?
Yeah, no, it'll be nice. So it will be like right at 419 gallons. So it's 96 by 36 by 28. And then I got the stand. It came almost 2 weeks ago. He's building the tank now. I don't have any rush on it because of obvious reasons, but hopefully should be getting that. I would say another couple weeks he'll be done. But I've got the sump on the way. I did splurge and went with the MRC I series, so they're big industrial commercial series, 60 by 30 by 30. It's like 220 something gallons roughly, if it was full. So won't quite be full. So I should be around, thank you, Barry. I should be right around, I would say rock, sand, all of that, 525, something like that.
Yeah, that's large. That's a big tank.
Yeah, and then I went with his with an MRC skimmer, his commercial skimmer. It's good for like 1,000 gallons or so with his big pump. But then I'm running an Abiz A400 from the return because it's going to be about 40 feet from the tank. So I'm going to have its own little dedicated area. I am too big to get underneath the tank and work to try to clean skimmers and pumps and sumps, and I'm done. I'm too old for that. So I said, let's do its own little remote area. But I'm going to run
like a display.
Yes, fully display. I'm full display. I'm done with fragging out of frag tanks and that. I will have one frag tank in that fish area, the fish room. It'll have just a 60-gallon that I'm running right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And you go in calcium reactor? What are you doing?
Yeah, actually, I ordered a Deltec, their twin calcium reactor. It's got two media chambers with a really nice, precise controller that they have. It's like one of the best, I think, in my opinion, from playing with all of them. But I got a good deal on it. I'm buying it used off the guy I bought the sump from. I let him take the big hit because I think the reactors are like $3,500 or something like that, and I paid, a third of that.
It's crazy how expensive big tanks truly get.
Oh man, yeah. I was looking at all new stuff, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to look for some used stuff.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about this hobby is you always have the ability to find used. You just got to make sure you find good used.
Right. And that's a good thing is when you find someone that's got big tanks, when they're selling it used, they're taking a hit because there are so few people. I mean, how many people need a 60 by 30 by 30 sump? Like 1%, truthfully. It's a very low percentage. So I got really lucky finding that. He's out in New York, so it's on its way. It's supposed to land Friday.
Gotcha.
And then I'll run full hydros. I've already got all that. And then I'll run the hydros, the pumps on a closed loop, the Varios pumps on a closed loop, just to get flow into the tank.
Are you doing a closed loop system on it?
Yeah, I'm doing a closed loop. And then the return's going to... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, how many lines are you going to have per se?
So for the closed loop, they're going to be dedicated with. I've got a 2 inch coming in, and then I will bring it down to the bottom. I'll Y it off because I'll run two pumps, and then they'll have their own return back. And then there's two return holes in each that are 1 inch. So
Okay.
they'll have four total for that. And then coming over the top, I had them drill into the top of the tank. I had them cut in six 1 inch bulkheads for me. That way
Okay.
I can run the closed loop, or I guess the return part, pardon me, from the A400 will run to the top. I just want to try to get every pump out of the tank that I can. I do have two MP60s that are going on the end because it's peninsula style. That will
Okay.
be on the far end. That way you really don't see any pumps in the tank. But if I just don't have enough flow on the far end, I was thinking about going with those new pumps, not the pumps, but it's kind of that rotating thing that Tyann actually showed. She had those folks over there. I don't know. I think they're from like
Oh,
they're
the
Welsh or
VCA.
something. I don't know. Pacific. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Pacific something or other, and it kind of has a motor and it'll turn and maybe do like one gyre up there if I absolutely have to. But I'm really trying not to.
Gotcha. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I did a closed loop in an old 300 I had, and it was cool being able to take the lock line and bring it up through the rock and kind of, I
Yep.
won't say zip tight underneath the Tonga branch, but zip tight underneath the Tonga branch and get that flow through there using the random flow generators to get
Yep.
the maximum different flows in it. And then I also put an the octo squib that would allow you to go
Hmm.
through this side versus this side at different times and get kind of that back and forth motion. I did that for a long time and I really liked it. When I got rid of that tank, I just never did it again because
Yeah.
I don't have any tanks. I mean, my biggest is a 180 right now that I actually, that's mine. I mean, I've got the 180, it's got a 180 on the back, so it's a 300, but it's two 180s butt to butt, back to back. So
Right.
no real room to do a closed loop system like you're talking about. Um, but they're one of my favorites because you don't have all the hideous look of power heads and stuff like that and all the wires. I mean,
Yeah.
they've gotten a lot better looking, but it's just, I think you have a lot more control with closed loop and it's a lot less stray current and stuff like that in the tank.
Right. Right.
So I'm
Absolutely. It's so
actually
much
glad to
easier to
see you
clean the
doing it.
panes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, cleaning my because my really good friend of mine who lives maybe like an hour from me, I go over to his house. He's got a little coral farm that he's grown a bunch of corals for. He's got a basically the same thing, but he went 8 by 4 by 28. And so I'm pretty much mimicking his because he doesn't have any of the pumps in there like that. So it's so much easier to clean the panes because you don't have to worry about magnets
Mm-hmm.
and moving pumps and all of that jazz.
And you stay suspended right in the middle and make it like an island with your rock and have a lot of fun with it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then you can do kind of different zones for the flows and that. So,
Yep.
I'm excited to get it going. That's for sure.
No, I'm excited to get a big tank one day to do it again, to
Yeah.
really get a nice big system set up and do it. We're going to be doing that soon, hopefully within the next year, doing a big 400 or 500 gallon at the warehouse, which will be awesome.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, then
What else
once
you
we
putting
have
on
these,
there?
once I get it set up, then I can sit in front of that for these and have it behind me instead of this fake photo with these fake fish.
That's what I'm doing with the two
Fishing.
little ones right here, the 255 gallons.
Yeah.
They're going to be 32 by 20 by 20. So they'll be
Yeah.
decent enough size to do a nice little mini reef in it. And then I'll do a
Hmm.
nice planted freshwater tank as well. That way we can do the new saltwater stuff and the entire new freshwater line that's coming. It's here in America, just not really promoted or anything right now because I haven't played with it too much. So I know
Yeah.
you know that, but just for the people out there, um, waiting for these two tanks to get here to play with it. We're going to do a separate series, one for freshwater, one for saltwater. Um, just kind of have fun with it. What
Yeah.
else are you doing on there? Are you doing any like reactors or pex bellums or anything like that?
Yeah, I got the big Pax Bellum coming. I'm going to play with that. And I bought the actually the other piece came today. They've got a it's really neat. So off gassing is definitely an issue that we have with calcium reactors. So it
Yep.
actually has this piece that goes in the front of the Pax Bellum. So it uses the flow or the feed from the reactor out goes through that, and the additional oxygen or CO2 will actually go and help feed the whatever you're growing in there, whatever algae I decide to go with. So hopefully you get none of that gas back into the tank. So I'm going to play with that, and we'll do a turf scrubber just for fun. But yeah, I just want to try to do everything. My wife said, typically I set up a tank and then we take it down, and I get something different. I get something different. So now I'm going big, doing what I want to do, and then that way, just kind of getting all the equipment that I really want. So once it's set up, it's set up, and yeah. Then so with
That's
lighting,
it's the way
okay,
to do it. As I say, that's the way to
yeah,
do it. If
man,
you have the ability to do that, set it up one time, set it up the right way, and really go
right,
to town with it and make a beautiful tank. And then that time, when you get tired of it, you take it down, get rid of all that stuff, and then do it again with the exact same stuff and have fun.
right.
Go ahead with what you were saying. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no lighting. I'm doing the new all Orphic Natura or Natura. I think is how they say it.
Yep.
I've got 6 of those already, and then I'll run 6 bars of the OR4s. I think I'm going to do that sky blue. I've done
Okay.
blue plus, and I like his UV, but I think I'm going to do those blue skies. They look really good.
I like the blue skies personally. They've got the more blue look. They don't have that purplish stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Carrie, we're seeing your comments. Just waiting to really ocean aquatic. Yeah, I'm seeing like every fourth one that comes through. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Barry. Yes, we're going to wrap. That's something we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. Is about trade shows coming up and whatnot. So, um,
Yeah, Nick's talking about the Panorays. I actually looked into the Panorays. A couple of my buddy of mine has a few of them here, and they're really nice. The Hydro Wizard is unbelievable. Moves a ton of
mhm.
water, and then he's got the ones in the tank. I think it's like I want to say it's a 42 or 43. I don't know the numbering on those, but I think that sounds right. But my God, they move a lot of water. Jeez, but they're pricey.
Well, I'll tell you what. I saw an Abyss, the Abyss A4000 or 400, whichever one that number is. I saw
Hmm.
that at one of our stores this past 2 weekends ago, and he had it on a 15. It was 15 to 30 foot run, running 6 300-gallon bats, and I was like, God dang!
Yeah,
And I mean, the amount
yeah.
of power they were pushing was unreal.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll be my return to the A400. Then I've got an A100 that'll do like all my reactors and that kind of stuff. I've got some whatever if I need to run carbon or whatever, I'll have that running that kind of stuff just on standby. But yeah, they
Got
move.
you.
I had an A200 on my 300, and you're right. And it was I was in the basement pumping up to my first floor, and man, they move a bunch of water. It's crazy.
I don't know how they're moving that much water. It's kind of creepy. They're moving more water than in-ground pool pumps are moving with a fraction of the horsepower.
Yeah, I mean the A400. I mean it's like it's tiny.
Yeah, it's this big. It's a tiny
Yeah.
little like 8 inch piece of equipment. It's crazy.
And
If you
uses
if you
almost
take
no power.
if you take that 6 inch screen off the front.
Yeah, that screen is huge. Holy moly. I think you're
Yeah.
right. It's like 6 inches at least.
Yep. Well, it's not as bad as the JBO ones or JCOD, whatever company it is now, where they're like they're freaking almost a foot long.
Yeah. Yeah, those are ginormous. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I just figured I'd do everything that I wanted, and then that way it's got everything on it. And now if I can't grow coral, it's me. I'll be out of excuses.
I'm interested to see, and I'm also interested to. It's been 15 years since I've done calcium reactor myself, so I'm kind of
Mhm.
intrigued to see how yours works and get more in depth on that and kind of talk about it to see how your
Yeah.
trace elements are staying and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I obviously know you're going to use quantum to help supplement what you need to, but I want to see how it all works together because I personally haven't used the quantum line with the calcium reactor myself. So kind of
Yeah.
really intrigued to see how that works.
I'm thinking once it's full, my goal is to have the calcium reactor at like 80% of what it can do, or at its when it's
Yeah,
at 100%, it's only able to do about 80%, and then I'll have a calc reactor to do another 15%, and then I want the um, Dosatronic, Alcatronic. I've got that full setup here now. The Alcatronic Pro. I've got the Dosatronics. I've got it doing the calcium, magnesium, and calcium, alkalinity, magnesium. And I want it to be at the top that last 5 or
Yep.
10% to really just keep that bar. I mean, it's incredible. I know I've read so many bad reviews about it. I set it up, and man, I mean, the graph, it's just, I mean, it's between 8.4 and 8.52. Like, I mean, just, it's almost solid. And that's, I mean, I think that's key is when you're not chasing these numbers and it's up and down. And if you can just kind of keep those numbers right where you want them. And they've got the new Mastertronic, what's it called? Mastertronic. Gosh, they've got a new one coming out this next month. Essentials, Mastertronic Essentials. So the original
Yeah.
Mastertronic, the reviews are terrible and it's just not good. It tried to do too many things.
Yeah.
So this is just going to do the big five that we all want to know about: calcium, magnesium, phosphates, nitrates, and it's supposed to do it really well. So I'll run
When is that
that,
one
and
coming
then that's supposed to be middle to end of this month. And then a little nugget. I don't know if too many people know about it. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything, but they've got something coming out called the Tracetronic, and it will dose 12 trace elements with, right now they're saying one line in, one line out. The one line in is pulling salt water from your tank. The one line out is dosing whatever of the 12 40-ounce bottles that are going to be in it. So you can set 12 trace elements in it.
They're
and
going to
it'll
be
do
like
1
this
ounce.
big?
Well, I mean, but I mean, you think
I mean,
40 ounce, it's only going to have one unit that it draws the element from, your trace from. It pulls it in. It's got a
okay.
spinner, a little magnetic spin in it, and it'll pull in the tank water, mix it up, dose it to your tank. So that way you're getting all of the element out. It's not going to stay back in the vessel as it's dosing. So
Okay.
if it can do all 12 of those, and if you can get 40 ounces, that's what I've heard is 40 ounces. Maybe it'll be less, maybe it'll be more. But if you could do that, I mean, if we could go, 20 to 30 days without having to add to it, that's neat. That would be, that would be fantastic. Stop hitting your
Yeah,
clicker
no,
button.
it would be cool, but the essentials one's what's got me more intrigued, because
Yes.
the only thing you hear right now in the industry is the NP, the Trident, and then the new Hydrus Maven that hasn't shown up but is still coming out. So
Right. And I just
I
sold
haven't
my,
heard anything about what you're talking about, so that's news to me.
I just sold my Trident NP and my regular Trident in anticipation of the Mastertronic Essentials. I know that they're going to do the unveiling, I guess, of one of those. Is supposed to come at RAP California, I believe. And I don't know if
Thought it
that's
was
the
Dallas.
Tracetronics.
I thought
I
Dallas
think,
they were going to talk about the essential from what I.
well, then that would be good. So then maybe it's the Tracetronic that's going to be in LA.
Okay.
Hopefully I didn't spill the beans. I'm sure other people know about this. I can't be the only one. Hopefully I didn't ruin it.
I like I said, this is the first I have heard of it.
Well, breaking news. Hopefully I
Hold
don't
on.
lose my hopefully I don't lose my ability to learn these things. I might be fired.
We are about to see something. I just figured something out I can do, and I want to do it just because we're talking about this.
Hopefully it's cut that out so I no longer get in trouble. Oh, there we go.
Now the question is,
Hi. Focustronic is pleased to present the details of the new and exciting future of water testing for the aquarium industry.
oh, that is AI so bad.
Focustronic has been serving the reefing sector since 2017 with our first auto tester, the Alcatronic. The Mastertronic was a game changer back in 2020, and over the years, we have identified the essential elements which all reefers focus on.
Okay, I'm not listening to 3 minutes of this. Where's the essential?
I think that's all of it.
Focustronic Essential is capable of testing the true essentials of a reef system, and this includes alkalinity, nitrate, phosphate, calcium, and magnesium, with the ability to test all these elements. The Aquarist will not need multiple machines, and that will save precious cabinet space, less maintenance, consistent water sample volume, and most importantly, cost savings. The automation ability will be no less than the original Mastertronic. All the tested parameters can take action and control the levels of the tested parameters via Powertronic, Dosatronic, and Solartronic. Focustronic was the...
I mean, that looks cool. It really does.
Man, it's nice, and the whole interface is phenomenal. It's all kind of one app. You can control the Powertronic, the Dosatronic, the Alcatronic, the Mastertronic, all of their lines, and their Powertronic is basically like a 4 outlet power bar, and it can do. I mean, you can really get this thing to. Okay, if the Mastertronic Essential says your phosphates are too low, you can set up the Powertronic to actually turn off your skimmer or turn off your fleece roller until those numbers come back in line, and it's going to say, oh, okay, well, I'm back at 15 because that's your number. I'm going to go ahead and turn your skimmer back on, or your fleece roller, or both. So, I mean, it's really keeping everything kind of in that line, right, that we're trying, all these numbers we're trying to hit, where it's not like this. If you can really keep it like that, like the ocean, everything's going to grow better, right? I mean, you're just going to have better outcome from your corals. And if it can do it, great. And I think the Powertronic's like $100, so it's not an expensive 4 outlet power bar, right? It's not like you've got to spend thousands. Now, I don't know how much the Mastertronic Essentials is. My guess is, I don't know, 700 to 1,000, somewhere in that range. But if you buy the NP and the Trident, I mean, it's got to be pretty close to over 1,000. Plus, you have to buy the Apex, right? You have to have that to control that.
That's kind of what I'm looking at this. So is this more like the hydros where everything is separate? Like
it's kind of
each individual is its own thing, but it all works in one app. Like you build like a collective, kind of like what Hydros calls it.
Yep, exactly.
And yeah, Carrie, we all know Apex does the same thing. We're just talking about.
But I don't know anybody that would. I don't know anybody with an Apex that'll say, "Hey, I'm going to let my Apex control the outcome from my Trident," like dosing.
Yeah, a lot of people have gone away from that.
No, I would never do that.
A lot of people have quit doing that just because of when Apex first came out with the regular Trident, they were killing thousands of people's tanks. Just because there was no failsafe in the code.
Yeah,
and Carrie,
and the good thing is
a lot of people have started doing that because they finally put the failsafes in. But the first 3 or 4 versions that they had, there was no failsafe. So if your alkalinity, for example, if the reagent ran out and it tested and said you're at 0 or you're at 4 because it's not getting any color, it would just start dosing all of your alkalinity into that tank until it ran out. Now they have the fail safes of we're going to pull the last 30 days of trends, and that's the automatic fail safe that it will not dose anything more than 10% of that number. So if you've got the new one with the new releases, that's all included in that. So yeah, and they've been the new ones are pretty good. A lot of people like them. I've just had a lot of bad experiences personally with Apex, and that's why I won't use. I have one on my 180 300-gallon tank, whatever we want to call that thing. I have one on there, but that's just because it was part of the tank when I originally got the tank. Me personally, I run Hydros on everything I have just because I like it. I like the simplicity of it. But this Focustronic line, I've heard a lot about the Mastertronic, just didn't know that they were actually even looking into that essentials with where they were adding nitrate and phosphate. And that's kind of where I'm at now is I need nitrate and phosphate automation just because I travel so much. And I was really hoping to get the Maven to go with all my other Hydros equipment, but I haven't made that jump yet just because I don't know. I don't know which route I want to go, to be honest. But Mastertronic, Focustronic, now I'm looking at it, so I'm kind of curious. But I got all the Hydro stuff, so it's like, do I mix and intermingle, or?
Yeah, you can mix and intermingle, and I mean, because it's its own little separate ecosystem. Because who knows when the Maven's coming, right? I mean, we don't know when.
Yeah.
And what I like about the Mastertronic Essentials is you can use their reagents, or you can go to the fish store and buy test kits and use those reagents. There's special ones, there's specific ones that will allow, you need the liquid, obviously, for the titration testing and that. Can't use the powders, but I like the idea where I can do that. And, look at the NP. Half these people can't even get reagents because they're always out of stock because you can only buy 2 months at a time. And you can't let them sit long, and they've got to sit upright, and all these rules with them. And it's just, I'd much rather say, okay, the reagents are out of stock from Mastertronic. I can go to my local fish store and pick something up, or Amazon, or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And Barry, back to what you and Carrie both are talking to. I've got my Apex at the fish store that's got my 180 on it, and I have not had any issues with it personally. I had one issue where it was a bad dose head that the wheel fell off, so it was losing its prime, but nothing catastrophic for that system. And like I said, I still have it on there just because it's on there and it's working. But moving forward, because of me being where I sit and seeing all the different issues in the industry, is the reason I've moved over to Hydros versus
I
Apex.
still use the dose for my caulk reactor for dosing with that. I still have my Apex online. It's online now. It's nice to have a little bit of everything and mix and match. And look, none of them are perfect. None of them are flawless and work great, and they're never going to have issues. They all are. It's electronics, but it's nice to have a little bit of everything.
No, it is. I'm with you. So sorry if we bashed Apex a little bit too much. Apex is a good product. I got no problems with them personally. So
No.
It's just things I've heard and seen. So, I am.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't work for any of these companies. I'm just for 30 years of being in the hobby. I mean, I have the very first Apex with X10 modules from 100
I remember their old metal boxes.
Yeah.
I just me personally, I love the fact that there's a lot more companies coming out with this type of stuff. I mean, you go all the way back to Reef Pie and micro reef tanks. So there's a lot of different things going on there. I'm curious to see. I'm gonna let you get the Focustronic, get the new one, see how you like it, and then I'll get the Maven. And Carrie, a lot of people have had good luck with them. I'm not bashing them. It's just my personal.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with my Apex. I think I've had one EB832. I had one outlet go bad. Outlet went bad, and they warrantied it. And
any reason you decided not to try Hydros? Just curious.
I mean, I run it. I will.
I know you have Hydros. I'm asking Carrie.
Oh, Carrie. Oh, yeah. I was like, no, I haven't.
Yeah, I know you have Hydros. We both have all of it. I mean, I've got I don't know if you remember the old 8-head from Focustronic, the old 8-head dosing system they had. It was not the Bionic, but it was something like that. Where they had the 4 that you could daisy chain another 4 straight to it, and the daisy chain another 4 straight to it, all with one app. I've still got one of those. Because BRS stopped selling it. Yeah, they stopped selling it because it was direct competition with the Apex because they own Apex now. So, well, they don't. The venture capitalist company that owns BRS owns Apex as well. From what I've heard,
seen them. They've dropped a lot of lines, and it makes sense if you own the company. I wouldn't want to sell against my own company if I'm the owner of the overall company. I mean, it makes sense. It's not a bad thing what they're doing. No. I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, if I was the VC coming in buying a company, I'd be like, I'm not selling that.
They made a very smart decision.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's get off of this. What's the next trade show you're going to?
I will be with you in Dallas.
Yep, that's 2 weeks away.
Next weekend after this weekend.
Yeah, because this weekend I'm in Biloxi, and then next weekend we're in Dallas.
Yes.
So that's Reeferpalooza. I know we'll get to see Miss Shelley there. I hope to see you there, Shelley. And I'm thinking we're gonna get to see Barry because I saw him asking, "Are you guys going to be at Rap Dallas?" So the answer to that is yes. I actually learned how to pin a comment that way I can go to the overview and pop them up when I want to.
Look at you. Fancy.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that one out. I was like, what does this star next to the comment mean? Got room booked and flight booked. Are you going to be going to Miss Tyann's dinner that night? Because I know you're part of one of her groups. Tyann, Tien. I'm sorry. I always get the name wrong. And my wife jumps on me every time saying I need to figure out how to say her name the right way.
Mama T, that's all you got to say.
Mama T. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Carrie, we have the coral cane. That is our product.
Yes. I will be at the dinner with you, and it'll be awesome to see everybody that we see on her channel on Tuesdays.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I actually wasn't going to go to Dallas until you told me you were going to go no matter what, and then I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go. And then when I found out the Tank Talks dinner is Friday night, I was like, yeah, we got to go.
Got to go.
We love what she does and everything. She's great for this hobby.
Oh, that's awesome, Barry. Barry won tickets to that and wrap. That's awesome. Make sure you come up and say hi to us.
Yeah, come see us. We got giveaways. There's a lot of samples and stuff, and a lot of coral cane.
Yeah, she's going to be giving away a ton of stuff. A lot of spin the wheels and.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of stuff at the dinner. The other thing is make sure to come by our booth while you're at the trade show. We do have a new product that we are going to be releasing at this trade show. It's only going to be available on our website until we get our next large shipment in. But we do have a new dip coming out that we're going to be announcing at that trade show. And if I get it enough of it in time, because my shipment's supposed to arrive late next week when I leave on Friday to head to Dallas, it's supposed to arrive, I think, Thursday evening. I'm going to try to get a bunch of samples of it made up as well. But I have to find some different baggies because it'd be bad to put white powder in little bitty white dime bags.
Yeah, don't especially driving from
Florida to Texas. That's a lot of state lines to cross and a lot of federal paperwork.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure out the best way of doing that. The coral cane's okay because it's obvious it's a food when you look at it. It doesn't look like a complete white powder in a drug bag.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that product. You and I both have used the dip. We love it. Works really well. It's by far I'm biased. I know you're not as biased, but I'm biased. One of the best dips I've ever used. So we took a combination of a couple of our favorites. We'll just say it's a potassium-based dip. It's a salt-based dip. It's really close to Pot Up Labs version.
Okay.
Primer is what they call it. Really close to the primer that they have. And it's a 15-minute dip. You use 2 scoops per 1,000 milliliters. Run it for 15 minutes while you're blasting it. I have seen it kill darn near every pest parasite I've put on it. It even makes algae where it quits growing. Basically, it changes something inside of it that makes it where when I put it back in the tank, it just completely falls off. So it's really cool in that aspect. I've seen it get nudies, mono-80 nudibranchs, some of the bugs, things like that.
It saved me from redbud or planaria. They killed that.
Yeah, planaria gets every time. The biggest one that I can't say yes to or not to is eggs. I will say that I knew I had one that had eggs on it. I did the dip, did not have any show up later on, but there's also 4 wrasses in that tank, so I can't 100% say it was the dip, but I could 100% say that the dip does an incredible job at anything living and not in an egg on that coral.
Good.
I don't want to talk too much about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, anything we can find that helps us, get rid of parasites is definitely a good thing. And, there isn't going to be one thing that can do everything. But if we can put a couple things together and just lessen the chance of introducing anything to our tanks, it's definitely, I learned a lot by watching Sandler's tank out in New York. I mean, talk about a guy that just has endless means for helping us out with, getting rid of bugs and that. And he's got a full-time guy on staff that's, taking care of fish disease and that. It's like we can learn so much from folks like that. And it's great that he shares it because he doesn't have to. I mean, there's nothing that says you need to, but he does. And it's awesome.
Yep. When do you want to go up and see him? Because I need to get back with Shelly and schedule a meeting to go up there.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to go see it. You going to go to New York for RAP?
I'm thinking about it. I'm going to try to go. I'm going to try to get with Shelly and them and Patty and see if we can get something scheduled that week before or the week after to try to go see him, see his tank and everything. What's up, Harley?
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Hey, I've got his. Speaking of Harley, I got his tank, the new all-in-one 5XL or what, I don't know what's it called, Harley. I don't know. I just know it's the new one. I've got to set it up. It just came and. 5XL, whatever, his new biggest all-in-one, came with everything. Awesome little setup. Talk about fantastic packing, man. Things like a tank. Definitely knocked it out of the park.
Everything I've seen from Harley from Harley has been absolutely incredible. We're actually going to be right next to him this weekend, right? We're right beside him, right?
I think so. I hope so.
Ain't that the booth we got?
I hope. I think so. If that's the one they gave us like 500 and something, I was like, hey, look, let's go right next to Harley.
Yeah, 408, I think is what it was.
408. Yeah. Yeah, his packing's phenomenal. A lot of the industry could learn from him.
That's for sure. Yeah, his stuff is freaking awesome. And we're gonna go boom.
That's it. The small-in-one XL5. That's what I've got. The 5-gallon.
I thought I was going to
excited to get that going.
Sure?
I was thinking, yeah, absolutely. I was thinking like, I don't know. I don't know what I'll put in it. Something fun.
That's
it.
Got to hit that button.
That is exactly it. I mean, light, heater, lid, pump. Take it out of the box, put in your sand, water, and you're going. And it's got that really cool.
And it's all in one.
It is. It's all in one. And then one of the pictures, it even comes with like the like if you want to put carbon, right there. If you want to do carbon and all that, it comes right with it. You don't have to buy all that extra
awesome. It's what, $260. That's Harley. How are you doing this, man?
Yeah, it's amazing. I can't wait to get it set up.
Yeah, no, these are awesome. I've been telling them I'm going to get some. I just got to get over and get to them. So these are awesome accessories.
Yeah.
Oh, you can even put. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you can pick up everything.
All right, Harley. I know you're here. How big is the auto top off? Please don't tell me it's a 20-ounce water bottle.
That's a full ATO you can set up into an ATO.
I know, it's a 5-gallon tank.
What's cool?
I'm sitting here designing this sump for this 32-gallon, and I'm like, or this 55, and I'm like, it's the stand is 32 inches long. So I'm like, okay, I only need like a 15-gallon sump for the tank, so it's going to be small. But if I just use acrylic and put the auto top off on the side of it, then how big? Sump is 18 inches wide, so even 4 inches, it's a 9-gallon top off. I'm like, oh, geez.
Yeah. Well, what's cool with his is it's got the lid and everything, so I can't imagine the evaporation's got to be almost nothing out of that thing. Certainly there's some, right? But it's almost minimal.
It is. That lid that's going to make it awesome. And look at the pictures. I don't see much SPS or anything in here, so the light's got to be really good, especially since you got bubble corals in there and some nice torches and hammers. So the light's going to be decent, so I don't think it's going to burn off too much with the lid and the light.
No, he put a lot of thought into it. It's nice when it's not awesome. Just something you throw out there and you're like, here you go, guys, this is great. You get it and you're like, oh, man, this is terrible. You get this and you're like, oh, my God, he actually thought about everything.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful system. I need to get one. In 2,800 milliliters.
That's crazy, right?
That's very little. That's not even a full gallon. That's 73, like 70.7. It's 3/4 of a gallon. Oh, geez. Almost got you. Almost got you, Harley. It's 94 ounces. It's awesome.
It's awesome. It is, man. He knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, no, Harley, I see your comment here. It's been such an amazing ride growing this business alongside people like us. I appreciate that, man. I'll tell you this. It's been awesome to watch you grow your business and watch the quickness that you've taken off in this industry.
Yeah, anytime you want to come on and live, that'd be awesome. Oh yeah, watching them come from, frag racks to, everything now. I've got so many pieces of P&W stuff in my tank. It's crazy.
Yeah, everything.
Mushroom boxes.
Yeah, all the stuff he's got is freaking incredible.
Yeah.
I need to get a bunch from him. My kids, when they found out I was going to Dallas, they were like, are you across from the guy who's got all the tanks? I'm like, actually, no, I'm beside him this time. They're like, oh, you're going to be so busy.
I got to get some earrings from his wife, the little
from the scrap acrylic.
Yes, I got to get a pair of those for my wife. I meant to get them when we were in Chattanooga. And it was just crazy. That show was just weird, and I didn't get a chance to get over there. And that's the one thing I regret from not getting at the show. So make sure you have some, Harley.
Oh, I think he always has them because he uses the scrap acrylic that he uses for making the tanks. It's freaking ingenious.
And I think his wife hand paints it.
She hand paints it, but he runs it through the CNC to print it out, cut it all out and everything, and then she hand paints them and everything. So you still have that family feminine touch, but it's quickly done. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's neat.
Harley, whenever you want to come on live, man, let me know. We can come on and BS and have a good time as well. So I sent you the link just now to see if you wanted to pop on, but you haven't looked at it yet. So it's cool. And we're going to get off here anyways because today's just a night of BSing. And Harley, we will definitely do a live while we're at Dallas just to hang out and chat for a few minutes. Because I finally got the equipment and everything to easily bring it with me and do it. So we're gonna do a few lives while we're at Dallas with you, Scott, and with the Tank Talk crew on Friday night and stuff like that. We're gonna be doing a lot more lives and enjoying it and having fun with that kind of stuff. So if you guys are on my personal or the group or YouTube or anything like that, make sure you add us on Facebook. We do all of our lives directly on Facebook when I'm not in front of the computer. Just because I don't have all the software on my phones and my other laptop with the right cameras and stuff. So it'll just be done on a phone and we'll go from there. So that will be on Facebook as well.
We'll definitely have to do something with on the night of the party. Just kind of do some lives and show people that aren't able to come and kind of see what they're missing out on and see what the shows are all about. I mean, people always talk about shows, and I used to never go, and then I started going. I went to I don't even know how many shows I've been to, but it's just neat to go and see all the people and see the new stuff, and to see all the new equipment coming out, and meeting the folks that you talk with virtually, right? And it's neat to see people in person after years of messages back and forth on email or a text or chat or whatever. So.
Or talking live like this, like we do quite often. I mean, we haven't seen each other in a year.
Yeah, it's been
8 months. So it's been a while. So might have to come to Atlanta next week to get that order if it doesn't come in right. But we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that party's going to be a good time, Harley. All right, guys. Well, we're going to call this a night. We've rambled enough. It's been about 48 minutes now. It'll be 49 minutes by the time I get done rambling here in a second. So we're going to call it a night. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. If you guys, like I said, we're going to do quite a few lives while we're in Dallas. So the next week will be once we get back from Dallas on the 19th. We will see you guys again. So hope you guys all have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us.